It is fall, so it's time for fall foods. It's not just about decorating with pumpkins, it's about eating pumpkins. So today we are making stuffed sugar pumpkins and you were making them for us actually. You are the executive chef at San Marcos exclusive Golden Door Spa. Please welcome to our kitchen, Chef Greg Frey Jr. Okay, so this dish comes from a cookbook.
Correct.
The cookbook is from Grey So.
It's from Grey So. It's called Aging Beautifully. And it's really, this cookbook is a very simple cookbook, but what's in there, the valuable information, is about all those good little nutrients that you wouldn't necessarily know are coming from foods that you're eating all the time.
So why was this recipe great for you? Why did it speak to you?
Look, we're in pumpkin season. I think it's easy to tell about that. I mean, I love the placemat. Pumpkin season, all right? Pumpkins are not just used to be decorations, sorry, but they are good to be eating.
It's okay.
I would love to eat the plastic ones, but all right. But either way, I mean, pumpkins can be very, very tasty, and they have lots of good things like, let's call it cucurbitacin.
What is that?
Cucurbitacin.
What is?
I don't know. It's really hard to say on TV 3 times. But cucurbitacin actually is known for having some properties that may be cancer inhibitors.
Oh, wow.
That's a good thing, right?
Yeah. Oh my
it also has carotenoids.
Okay, carotenoids, which are also in carrots. Right,
There you go.
Dina?
There we go. Ding, ding,
Also in
ding.
carrots.
So that makes like good vitamin A. It's also an immune booster. So yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of who knew that pumpkin was so healthy?
I know.
You guys bring in the stuffed pumpkins. This is
I
so
need some more
exciting.
pumpkin.
All right, let's get started.
Okay.
I know that
wow.
there is a right way, you say, and a wrong way to cut a pumpkin.
Well, let's say there's a safe way and then there's a non-safe
safe way. Okay, what's the
all right. So
Smells great. It smells.
that's it. Good. Aroma is big. All right. So if you have a big chef's knife, I'm going to suggest that you don't use this for cutting the pumpkin because it will roll around.
Okay.
So what I have is a nice little thin paring knife. You can
It's so
also,
small.
yeah, you can use like a little serrated knife, but you're going to go in right here to the top, and I like to put a little bit of an angle in here. Okay.
Oh, you go around the top?
Right.
I thought that
we're
was
going to
only
stuff
for when
it.
you're making a...
Well, you could do it the other way, but for our recipe here that we have in our presentation, we're going to want to have a top that we can sit back on top.
Look at that.
All right, so you have the insides of this. Don't discard the innards, as we like to say, because nobody likes
Right,
to
because
hear the
these
other
are,
one.
but this is very good for you.
Is that where all the
the pumpkin seeds.
You know, there's one thing that's really great in pumpkin is fiber. Okay, fiber is a really good thing that pumpkins have, and the seeds are also a great source of that fiber.
You can
All right.
roast them and put some salt on them.
Correct. And
just like that?
underrated, man.
you can take these right out, a little olive oil, a little salt,
the new
pepper, a little
avocado.
spices. I love using other spices, besides the latte spices, let's put it that way.
So what is that? That's the fleshy part too.
So this is, there is some fiber in here and things like that. But the pumpkin seeds themselves, you're going to scrape out.
Are
I'm
there
sure
other
everyone-
types of pumpkins that are good for you, or all kinds of pumpkins good for you?
All pumpkins have that cucurbitacin and the carotenoids. So you can pretty much get any
There's
pumpkin
more
and
than
use
one
that.
type of
But
pumpkin?
this
I've only
sugar
seen-
pie pumpkin, what makes the sugar pie pumpkin so good is that it's very tasty. Okay, it's sweet. It's also not very fibrous-y. So when you actually, if you've seen like the pumpkins that you use at Halloween, jack-o'-lanterns.
Yeah. You're not supposed to eat those, right?
You can't.
Oh, you can?
Not
Oh, I
after you
didn't-
cut into them and you let them sit on your front porch.
Okay.
That's a little different story. But no, so those pumpkins though end up getting really fibrous-y. They almost look like spaghetti squash.
Yeah.
But it's not as nice to eat. It's a little bit not as tender. These sugar pie pumpkins are really sweet, really tender too.
You guys seem to really love it over there.
It's so good.
Kenny, you're done.
Well, no, I still have mine, but I didn't realize there was different types of pumpkins. I
there
saw orange pumpkin. I was like, that's a pumpkin.
No, there's sugar pie. There's what else?
Sugar pie, jack-o'-lantern.
Jack-o'-lantern.
There's Gerardelle. There's lots of different things.
Okay,
All right,
so what
all
do
right,
we need
so
to make this recipe?
Next, we're going to put a little olive oil in here. We're going to put a little bit of salt and pepper, season up, and one of my favorite, cinnamon.
Which also the health properties of cinnamon are incredible.
Anti-inflammatories, antioxidants.
Yeah.
It's also a great immune booster, and it also is a good source of fiber too.
Oh, I don't know.
All right, now I have some applesauce. So you can, with this recipe, it simply calls for some applesauce to be baked inside the pumpkin. You could also like cut up some fresh apples, toss it with some sprinkled cinnamon and sugar. All right. And then I'm also going to add another little thing. Herbs are also very beneficial for health, and I've got some fresh sage. We're going to toss that in, and we're going to just simply take that out when we're done.
And it's okay if you leave the seeds on the top? It's not that big of a deal?
For this
Oh,
one,
sorry. Did I just call you out? I thought it was part of the recipe. I'm sorry, chef.
Thank you for keeping me
Apologize,
honest.
yeah.
I love it.
Apologize.
All right, let's season this too, though. Let's make sure we do that.
okay.
All right, how long do we put it in the oven for?
We're gonna put it in the oven for about 45 minutes to an hour, about 350 degrees. And ta-da!
Very healthy.
This is very healthy. This is also very hot, very hot.
Oh, sorry.
Voila.
Fanciest way I
And you could always take,
Sorry.
bingo.
You like this, Kenny, don't you?
Yeah,
Voila.
I was an
I can tell.
applesauce guy, but he's
Now,
put it on.
I kind of wish I had her
Fire.
bacon right now and we could crush that in there.
Bacon just
Now
makes
you just took
everything
that
better.